Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today I actually wanted to do a reading for the 111 portal. So it's November 1st. So it's 11:01, which would be the 111 portal. Sorry guys. I'm doing a million things at once and I'm not feeling well. And now that I pull out the cards, I can understand why. So it makes a lot of sense. So let's kind of get into it. Today is a new moon, and it's a new moon in Scorpio. And it makes a lot of sense based off of the cards that are coming out because a new moon, whenever the moon is in any kind of phase, but especially when they're new or full, um, yeah, I feel like I can't breathe. Like as soon as I started to record or hit to like the timer, I felt like really heavy in my chest. Like a ball in my throat, a knot, almost like I wanted to cry, but I don't really feel like crying. So I don't know if this is your guys' energy or this is just how the collective is feeling right now. So let me just remind you guys, this is a collective reading for the 111 portal, which is today, and it's also a new moon. So energies right now are really chaotic. So we're starting off with the moon card, and it's really funny because I know I did Leo's reading yesterday, and it actually resonates a lot with what I'm pulling out. It's not exactly the same reading, but there are a lot of the same kind of points here, which makes sense because the collective is going through this, so obviously Leo's would be going through this, right? So we're starting off with the moon. So I don't know if you can see this, but do you see how the moon is like pulling on the ocean? So the moon right now is causing a lot of emotion. It's causing a lot of turmoil. And because the moon is in Scorpio, the new moon is in Scorpio. Scorpio is depths. Scorpio is trauma. Scorpio is karma. It deals with home bills, um, divorce, other people's money, stuff like that. But it's also, if you in terms of like water signs, it's one of the deepest water signs. It's like it goes through the and being a cancer stellium, I've gone through the depths of hell and back, so I can only imagine, um, how deep Scorpios tend to be. I feel like water signs all kind of reach that level of what we would call hell or those depths. I think that Scorpios are just more comfortable being there for long periods of time. And so with the 111 portal, I feel like there's a lot that's coming out that's deep embedded. There's a lot being pulled out to see, a lot of guilt for a lot of things that we allowed to progress in our lives, guilt over past behaviors, in situations where we felt like we could have done better or where we felt like we fell short. Um, the image that I'm getting is, you guys know the Forrest Gump movie where Dan is having like a, is that his name? I think that's his name, Captain Dan, where he's coming to Jesus moment and he's fighting with God. Oh my, I'm getting emotional, and this is not my, this is your guys's. I feel like you guys are really emotional right now. I just tapped into that and I almost couldn't breathe and I almost start bawling. And I was not feeling that. Like that hit me hard. Okay, I'm okay. We're okay. uh that moment where he's just like, bring it, that's all you have. Like there's a coming to Jesus moment where you're fighting with God, saying, all these things I've transpired that have gone on in my life, the darkness, the hurt, the pain, and being so angry with life and people, and I'm hearing God himself or whatever it is that your beliefs are, because we don't have a specific belief in this channel. I do. I have different beliefs, but if you have different than mine, that's totally fine. We don't judge, or there's no wrongs or right. um but there's that coming to Jesus moment where you just have to bring down the rain and the thunder, and just that raw emotion and that passion, and that anger of all the shit. Remember, this man had gone to war for his country, lost his legs, you know, and he just, and that's only like one chapter of his life, not even knowing what other chapters he had gone through. And I'm just remembering how much he hated Forrest, because he was just so happy because he didn't have that mental capacity. He didn't have the wherewithal to be like, it's, and I see that. So I have a daughter that's special needs, and it doesn't matter what I'm going through in life or what we're going through in life. She always walks in the room and she's always smiling. And it doesn't matter, even if we've had a bad day, she'll walk in the room and she's always just smiling. I'm like, what's so funny? She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, okay, I want to be like that. I strive to be like that, happy for nothing in my awareness and in life, because for her, that mental capacity to have things from the past weigh her down, she doesn't have that. She doesn't have that in her mental capacity. And when Dan was with Forrest Gump was always like, oh, it's New Year's, let's go out. And he's trying to cheer Dan up. And even when he got upset, he ran. He wanted to run, right? He didn't have a BF, or, go and hurt other people, or he didn't do that. He went out, and, his little friend that he made in the army, that just talked about shrimp and shit, or fishing, he went out and honored his name because his friend got unalived in the line of fire. And it was just that positivity that no matter what he went through, there was no like changing his heart, right? But and so Dan was so annoyed with him, and just like hated him, and not hated him, but like disliked him severely, and was so annoyed by his cheerfulness. And he just needed to let that anger out. And I'm hearing, you know, even when times get rough and when times are hard, it's okay to be upset and even yell and scream at your higher power, because they are your family and they have that space to give you and allow you to express yourself and be angry. There it is again. Let me remove myself from your energy because I can't. No. Whew, look, I'm trembling now. Oh my gosh. This Scorpio moon, you guys must be really feeling it. I was fine until I started this reading. Hold on. Okay. I lost my train of thought. Oh, hang on. Oh, your ancestors and God Himself, who is seen as your father or as above, so below, they give you that space to be angry because life has been hard and you have gone through those challenging shit, challenging, just heartbreaking, um, soul shaking, just some of the worst things that we've not only gone through but see in everyday life, right? And they're saying you can have a coming of Jesus to moment. Jesus or God or a higher being will not be upset with you if you have a moment as a child where you're upset, and you have that moment where you want to express how angry you are, how angry you are about all that shit, right? People always fear that, oh, you can't speak to God that way. Absolutely, you can. He wants you to. That is the way you grow. He will always make room and give you that space for you to express yourself because He is ever loving. The higher power is ever loving. They understand and they don't have ego to be like, oh, that is offensive. I'm going to smite thee. No, they're going to be like, good, get angry. Yep, you can express it to me because I love you unconditionally and I understand. Yeah, it's been hard. We're so sorry. We're still here for you and we're still going to be there tomorrow when you need us. And that's what I feel like there needs to be a moment where you just scream, just go into the woods and just shout it out and just get angry. We're starting off when that was the bottom of the card. This is like the energy that you're in now. And then behind that, you have divine justice. It's almost like saying, where is my justice? Where is. And again, I said this in Leo's reading. It's not a justice that you're asking for, it's a justice of like, I've tried to do the best that I can with the things that I was given. And when I didn't know better, I tried my hardest, right? And where is the justice in where I was mistreated and now I'm doing better and I want to have better. I want to do better. I need help. I need, you know what I mean? Justice for the things that are felt unbalanced in your life. You're feeling like there's being an unbalance in your life. Like, where's that true love? Where I give so much, I give unconditionally. Where's the freedom? Where's the those things that you feel like you've been working so hard for, and you feel like you've been stuck, or that heartbreak that you're trying to release? Because I feel like those emotions are there and they're being released and they're being brought up so that they can be released. But those things are now going to be balanced out is what I'm hearing. Those things are now being balanced out because those emotions are being pulled up and there does seem to be either a need of it or it's already happening. Coming to Jesus. And I'm hearing the pendulum swings as far back, as far forward as it does back. And that is something that is from the Kabbalion. The pendulum swings. It goes forward and back. There's highs and the lows. And as low as it gets, this pendulum always, always, always swings back the other way. So as low as it gets, or as low as you feel like it gets, or as low as you feel like you've learned lesson, that's how high you're going to feel when you get those other lessons. It's so funny because it really is like I feel like the Leo read might have been like a collective. There was a little bit different, but this is more because you're starting off with the adept of crystals. There is a full awareness now. There's a full awareness of the thing you've been through, the things you've been through. See, I can breathe now. I can breathe now because I got that out. Oh my gosh, I felt like my chest was just. And you know what's funny is I didn't realize it, but I've been feeling like that since this morning. And I didn't realize it was your guys' energy. That's so funny. I don't know if you guys can tell, but not all my tarot cards, but there's at least like 40 tarot cards on my table right in front of me. And there's one that just popped up, and it's the Page of Swords. I don't know if you could see that, but it's the Page of Swords. And you have here the Ace of Swords. So there's a full understanding of everything that has gone on. And even with the moon, not only is it pulling emotions, but when the moon is pulling emotions like that, there's also full understanding. Full understanding and full seeing of the things that you couldn't see before and how they were. And I know that's a little bit hard to understand. It seems very simple, but there's a need of not just understanding, but of understanding. Okay? Understanding, because somebody can tell you something, and I can say it to you, But until you incorporate it, until you understand it, it's not going to make sense. It will make sense as in I'm saying it to you and you understand the English language, but it won't incorporate into where you understand the way that the mechanics of the way that it works and how to incorporate that into your belief system, into how you think, and how to incorporate that into your everyday life, into your love relationships, business, all of that. So there's a need now of understanding and incorporating all of the lessons that you've learned, and all those new tools that you have now from all of the lessons that you've learned, and being able to not have that fear of making that mistake and feeling like you're going to be judged upon, not only by people, but by the person that, by the higher power that you feel will abandon you, because you will never be abandoned. Even the worst people in this world, as much as we hate hearing it, are not abandoned by a higher power. And that's just how it is, right? But there's a lot of so I don't know if you guys can see, this girl has her knife, her sword, and she's pointing it to her right, no, left knee. She's pointing it to her left knee. And your left knee, if you know Reiki, your left knee is where you hold mother wounding. Mother wounding, female wounding, such as female family members, specifically mother, but female family members, aunts, really good friends, but mainly it's like mother wounding. The left knee is the mother, the feminine, and the right knee is the masculine, the father. But this sword is being pointed to the mother. So there is mother wounding that needs to be healed, that is being brought up to be healed and to be understood, because the mother wounding is stronger. That is not, it's not stronger than the male wounding. It's very strong because the mother is the birth giver. There is a connection there. Whether you're close to them or not, there's always that bond because your mother gave birth to you. Whether they're a good person or not, that makes no difference. No difference. So that mother wounding right now is very strong, and there's a need to go deep and dark. And that's what I'm hearing. A lot of you guys, your coming to Jesus moment was that moment of, why wasn't I loved right? Why wasn't I treated correctly? Or why weren't you there? Or whatever it is that your coming to Jesus moment is, you are allowed to express and to shout and to get angry, because you are never going to be abandoned, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, this just popped out of my cards for some reason. Because we're having the Nine of Flames. So there has been a lot of victim mentality, victim thinking, victim mindset, and that has been causing a lot of delays, a lot of stuck mentality. There has been movements that haven't been able to be made because there are not per se blockages, but it's like you're walking. It's almost like when you're at the gym and you add weights to yourself, right? And but let's say you're not at the gym and you're just trying to walk from point A to point B. It's going to be a lot harder with weights on top, with weights strapped upon you. It's going to be stronger, it's going to be heavier. If you just remove those weights, the walk would be a simple stroll, and you'd get there a lot faster if you're able to remove that. If you're able to understand and you're able to go deep and release that anger. Because I feel for a lot of you guys, there's resentment and there's pain, and you don't want to have those things because you feel like, I should be better than this, I should know better than this, I should do better than this. There's nothing wrong with being angry for being mistreated time and time again by the people that should have loved and taken care of you from the beginning of life, or whoever it is that has caused that damage, right? There is nothing wrong. And even if you've come to amends with those people, there is still that pain and damage, because your younger self, your inner child, never had that safety. And that is why you had to go through those lessons, because you didn't understand what safety was. You didn't understand what certain behaviors, you didn't know they were wrong because that's how you were treated as a child. You think that it's normal because you knew nothing else, right? You didn't have somebody else. And even when you did badly, you didn't know how, in certain situations, because I know people that do some effed up shit and they know it's not right and they do it anyway. I'm talking about the people that behaves and didn't have accountability to their emotions because they didn't know how to regulate, and because that's all they saw as you know, as relationships, even in family members, not just their parents but other family members, and that's all they knew, so they thought that that was normal. And even when, you know, you're the toxic one in a relationship, you sometimes don't know that because you don't realize that what you're doing is toxic or manipulative or whatever it is, right? I'm learning that, you know, I have Cancer in Mars, and apparently that's one of the most manipulative signs to have. That's one of the most manipulative signs to have in Mars. They're the most manipulative. I am no longer manipulative, but I can see how when I was younger and I didn't know better, and I had a very rough childhood, why I would be manipulative, because that was the only way I felt safe. Because I was not safe growing up. Up until the age of 20, I wasn't safe physically, mentally, emotionally. So I can say up until the age of, I want to say maybe like 20, my late 20s, I could say that I probably was manipulative, cuz I didn't know that there was other ways to go about, like have allow people to have their own sovereignty. I didn't even know what that was, right? Um cuz I didn't know any better. People around me didn't know any better. It just was what I knew. I didn't know it, I just was acting the way I had seen shown to me, right? And that is how we do, and that is how we understand. But as an adult, you are now an adult and you know how to read, you know how to look for help. You can go to the therapist, you can learn books, you can watch tarot. There are so many healing aspects now that as an adult, it's your responsibility to heal yourself. When you're a child, you have no control over that. But when you're an adult, it is your responsibility, and it is okay to get angry and to be upset about the things that you went through. And this new moon and this 111 portal is pulling out all that anger, all that hatred. I'm just seeing like this black tar. And I say this time and time and again. Every time you go through a dark night of the soul, or every time something happens where it's the same wounding, you go deeper and deeper and deeper, right? I'm seeing a black sludge, like it's at the bottom of that wound. It's almost like you're scraping the bottom of the barrel of that wound. You're at the bottom. You are scraping out and cleansing that wound that will no longer exist after that. Do you know how at the bottom of, like, let's say, uh, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? What I'm trying to see in my head is like, let's say something's infected, right? At the top, it's like liquid and pus, and at the bottom, it's like you have to. Oh, that's making me nauseous. You have to scrape it out. It's the grossest stuff at the bottom, but it's because it's the most infected. But once that's cleaned out and you disinfect it, that area is now going to heal and has no more damage. Basically, you are completing and clearing out a toxic wound, not just from this lifetime, but from many, many lifetimes. Or let's say you're a young soul, but from for your ancestors. For your ancestors that were able to do it. The Six of Cups. What did I just say? Six of Orbs, the Six of Cups. There you were cleaning out ancestral woundings, things from the past. I'm seeing a lot of past. I'm not talking about just this life. I'm seeing past lives, past lives, um, where it was repeated and repeated and repeated, and you would break those cycles, but that wounding would never fully heal. And so that wound was just deep in there, and it has not ever been able to fully heal until this lifetime. And that is what I'm seeing happen. It is balancing out, but this is pulling you to a coming to Jesus moment. This is, I'm seeing, like, when they say that full moons can cause tsunamis, can cause like the raging waters. Again, I just keep seeing where Dan, they almost capsized because they were in that storm in the middle of the ocean, and he did not care if he lived or died. He didn't care if he lived or died. He was like, bring it, I don't give a shit. He didn't care at that point anymore. And once that battle was over and he raged, that came the calm after the storm. Let's clarify adaptive crystals. You got Dear Love, which is cute because like DEAR, but it's actually dear, like DEER. Be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. See, I love it when a plan just all comes together. Let's clarify the Nine of Flames. Dragon, supernatural. Some of you guys might have a dragon, a totem, dragon totem, or a dragon, oh, I can't remember what it's called. It's like a totem, but you have like a dragon spirit that's protecting you and guiding you. And it says, you are the ancient wise sage. You can shapeshift at will. Mastery is your destiny. Rise with dignity. Yeah, it's just all coming. Yeah. And then last, the Six of Orbs. Oh my gosh, guys, this went deep. Like, I legit almost had releases of my own, but those kinds of releases are the kinds that will start and cannot stop until you are done. Polar Bear, Mystic. Know that challenges make you stronger. Have faith when you face adversity. Take time to rest, dream, and renew your strength. Embrace your psychic abilities. You carry the shaman within. Yeah. Also, I am hearing, and I'm saying this because it's been happening to me. You guys might be having a lot of ascension symptoms. Basically, it feels like the flu, but you don't have like the sniffles or a cough. But body aches, nausea, stomach, so many stomach issues. Even like with the mud butt, okay, if you know what I'm talking about. Like I said, body pain, headaches, really bad headaches, drinking so much water to the point where it doesn't even fit in your stomach and you're so thirsty. I do sell a Mercury retrograde and a Ascension Symptoms oil that I use because this whole week has been just, and it physically takes a toll on me when I have those symptoms. I love these cards. They're a little bit insulting, but it's time to grow up. It says, shiz is going down with your job. Reevaluate, change your perspective, or effing quit. Okay. Let me get one or two more. I think we still have time for two more. For the collective. Take salt baths, Epsom salts. Oh my gosh. Take Epsom salt baths. That'll help with emotions, with releasing oils, releasing candles, all that stuff. I make all the products that I've ever made that I now offer in my shop. I made them because at one point in time I needed it and I didn't know where else to go to get that stuff. Because I started early on where that stuff wasn't necessarily readily available. So I have like 20 different oils. I have, everything I made because at that point I needed it. This one says money, make it rain. So it's time to focus down and buckle down and focus on what it is that you're trying to manifest. It says don't effing force it. Allow that ish to come to you. Get the F outside. Move your butt. Your body is mad at you. What did I say about the body pain? And what the hell are you waiting for? Get that ish done. If you are waiting for a sign, well, here it effing is. I love these. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this helps, and I will try to get Virgo's reading done. If not today, tomorrow. But I am also human and going through the same crap you guys are. So, thanks for hanging out with me. I will talk to you guys soon.